The game starts and we are having the white pieces. We play e4, they play e5. We develop our knight to f3. They push their pawn to d6, protecting the pawn from being taken by the knight. We develop our bishop to c4. They play bishop to e6, asking for a trade. We capture the bishop with our bishop. They recapture with the pawn. Then we push our pawn to d3, allowing the bishop to be developed. They play knight to c6. We develop our bishop to g5. They play knight to f6, protecting the queen from being taken. I take the knight, he recaptures. I castled. He played pawn to d5, attacking the pawn. I can capture and he recaptures. I captured, he recaptured. Then I played knight to h4. He played queen to e7. I gave a check with my queen. He moved his king to do d7. I just take my knight to f5, attacking the queen. He moves to e6, attacking the knight, but he can't take, as if he takes I will just take the queen with my queen. So I played rook to e1. He played knight to d4, which is blunder as I can take the knight with my knight. He plays, why he didn't took I don't know. He can just, he instead of doing this, he did it because I can just take the queen as well. So he did not took my knight, and if he takes there is this rook as well. So he moved his queen to b6. I go back. He then develops his bishop to attack this pawn. It is very weak. No one is protecting this pawn. Then I give a check. He moves his king. Here I protect this pawn from being taken. If he takes, I can just take the bishop, and if he takes the queen here, I can take the queen as well. He plays rook here, and I can't take the rook as well as there is the bishop. So I give a check, which is a blunder here, as you can see. He takes and I take the bishop. He moves his rook. I wanted to bring my other knight into the game. He attacks the knight with a pawn push. I attack the queen. He just moved his queen to c6, attacking my knight. I just protected my knight from being taken by a pawn push to c4. He plays b6. I brought my rook into the game. He plays king to b7, protecting the king from being taken, as there is queen here, and if I did this there is rook as well. So he did that. I just pushed my pawn to just increase the pressure on him. He brings his rook into the game. I can't take as there is this, so I just gone here attacking both the rooks. He goes here because he knows as I can't take any of the rook. If I took, I will lose my queen. So he pushed the pawn and I just recaptured and attacked the queen. He takes the pawn and I gave a check. He goes back here and I brought my rook into the game and attacked the queen. He takes the pawn, and here there is mate in 5 near me, but I did a blunder here. The blunder is that he can just take this pawn, give a check. I will capture. He will give a check again with the other rook. I have no option. I can't go out here as there is queen, so I have to go here, and then he will just do this and give a checkmate, and I will lose. But he didn't. I made this blunder, but he as well blundered, and there is mate in 1, and I won this game. So next game. The next game starts and we are having the white pieces again. We play d4, the London system. He plays d5, symmetrical. We develop our bishop to f4. He develops his knight to f6, push our pawn to protect the bishop. and then eventually developing our knight to f3. He pushes his pawn as well to e6. We develop our knight to f3. He gives a check with his bishop. I just prevented the check by pawn push to c3. He retreats back and attacks my bishop. I just took the bishop and he recaptures like this or like this. He captured with his queen, bringing the queen into the game. I gave a check with my queen. He brings out his bishop and attacks my queen. I just asked for a trade. He didn't took. I brought my bishop into the game and pinned the bishop to the king. If he captures, I will just take the bishop and give a check again. But he didn't. He attacked my queen. I took, gave a check. He captures with his knight. I just pushed my queen to b5 square and pinned the knight to king. Then he attacks my queen again with a pawn push to a6. I captured this pawn, attacking the queen, his queen. He takes the pawn and I just played queen to b7. As you can see, we have a disadvantage here, but we will just win this game. He castles and I castle as well. He plays bishop to b8. Here, when here this game is equal, he has 0.8 advantage. But when I played this move, this is a blunder, as he does this here, and now my king is just trapped. Queen is just trapped. I can't move on this line. I can't go here. I can't take any of this. I can't go here as there is queen. I can't go here as there is queen. I can't take this pawn as there is queen. I can't take this pawn as well as there is queen, and I can't go here and here as well because of here, because of queen, and here because of the rook. So I just captured the rook of his and gave a check, and he just recaptured, and I lost my queen, but it is okay. We will come back. He just captures the pawn and tries to attack to my knight. I just played my knight to d2 as he can't take as there is my rook, and he goes back, and I played this move where I am giving him my knight as he can take it with a pawn, but he should not as there is my rook and I can take his queen back, but he just took my knight and I took his queen. The game is equalized, and we have advantage of 2.4 as well. Then he plays knight to e8 trying to attack my rook. I just took the pawn. He plays knight to f6. We play knight to e5. He plays rook to b2. I just pinned his knight to king. He makes an escape route for the king. I played this as if he takes I can just give a check. He takes and I give a check with my rook. He moves to h7 square. I started pushing my pawns forward as I have +2 material. He goes here attacking my rook again. I just moved my rook to e7. He goes here. I just pushed my pawns and then he goes here. He did this knight moves to just prevent this pawn push. I kept pushing my pawn, and why he did this I don't know. Means what he was thinking, why he moved his rook to a2. As if I take I will lose my rook as well, but I will have a queen and rook and he will lose. I took the rook and he captures with the knight and I just promote to a queen. He can as well make moves as I will go here And if I would have gone like he moved here, and if I would have gone like this was a very bad move which I not did. Instead of doing this, I played here, giving a check and stopping this pawn from getting promoted. I just did this here, and this is also stopped, and he resigns, and we won this game as well, having a disadvantage in the beginning due to a queen trap, and then again we just captured his queen as well. So then the game was equalized, and then we promoted to a queen again. So it was a nice game. So next game, the game starts and we are having the white pieces. We play bishop to f4. He brings out his queen on very second move to f6. We play e6, protecting this bishop from being taken by the queen. Then he develops his knight to c6. We develop ours. He pushes his pawn here, trying to just push this pawn and attack my bishop again. But I can take my bishop on here, this square. We develop other bishop. He does this, attacking my bishop. I just go on to g3 square. He develops his knight to e7. Tries to develop. He wants to go like here or here. Then I just develop my knight. He pushes his pawn here. We push our pawn. Now he can take this pawn, and there is nothing which is preventing this pawn. So yes, he takes, and I attacked the knight again. He goes back, and now we have an advantage here. Before he in on this position he had a bit of, no, he didn't have any advantage. Yes, he takes. We have advantage. We attacked. He goes back. We have advantage again. I can take this, but I didn't. If here, if would I would have just took it. He can take again. It would have been a trade, but now he will take, and I can't take his knight again, and he will be +3. He will be +4 as he have a pawn as well. Due to this reason, this is a blunder. He captures, and I can take the knight, and he just can take my rook or queen. I prevented my queen, and he could have took it as rooks are worth 5 points, but he didn't. He bring his knight into the game. I moved my rook, protecting it, attacking the knight, but he can take the knight if I took the knight on this square, so I didn't. He plays knight to a2, attacking my queen. I just moved. He pushes his pawn. We play queen to a5, which is a blunder again, because he can do this and I have to go back or here, which there is no use of this move. But going here gives a check, but he can do this or this, or even this pawn push. So due to this was a blunder. He gives a counter attack here. I moved here and gave a check, but as I told you, he can do this or this or even this. He does this and gave a check. Attacked my queen. I have to move here, and in this position here, my queen is very danger. My queen is having a very danger, as anyone can take it. Here, this pawn push giving a threat of taking my queen, and he can even take it if I didn't see properly where I can go. I gave a threat to his queen that I will take, but he captures my bishop. I take the pawn as well and again threaten the queen, and I have a escape route now. He goes back. He could not take this as there is the knight. So he goes back, and I have this thing. He castles. I attack the knight. He captures, and I recapture with my bishop, attacking the knight again. He goes back, which is a blunder. This is a blunder because this move is a blunder, as I can do this, and it is a checkmate as there is my rook here. And indeed I did that here, and checkmate.